So, everybody, welcome to the Under the Skin segment or something. I haven't figured out a transition. Yeah, this is their most relevant, most recent full-length record. Now out in who's Narco? Oh, okay, that's probably something important to ask. Who or what is Narkotix?
um,
Mm.
so it's just like something that we've sort of come up with. Um, I think because in the band, each member can do like certain things, which I think is pretty cool. Like Dylan's really good at making videos, and like logos and stuff. Brent's really good at like mixing and editing and all that computer stuff like that. I don't really know what my special ability is, but
You're
I
figuring it out.
suppose
It's okay.
yeah.
He's being modest.
But yeah, so I think what we will like, we can all do all this stuff. So we'll start like this little thing to, I don't know, to make like if something comes of it,
Yes.
then something comes of it kind of thing. And we're just like, we can all do this thing. So we're going to start this thing. And if people reach out to us and say, oh, look, will you make a video? I know that Dylan's made lyric videos for other bands, and stuff like that. And that was through Narkotix page as well. So like, nothing's really come of it yet. Dylan's done some videos, but yeah, if something comes up and people need help, like we're happy to help out and stuff like that.
Badass. So more or less Narcotics, that would be like you guys's just like service company, right? And this is like how you distribute your music, and this is also it's meant to be something for other people to utilize for editing and just like everything you might need for things relevant to music and just getting it out there. Okay, cool. So that in that case, this album, Misanthropist, out through Narcotics, their own personal like collective company that happens to not be Shiva as a brand. This album was absolutely incredible, and let's go ahead and dig into the I would say the back of the book summary. So what would be like a good, like, imagine this is a book, right? This album is a book. You go into a library, you're like, ooh, this is a pretty symmetrical cover, and it's got like this interesting logo on it with what looks like a trident going through the middle. This is interesting. What's going on? So like if you would turn the book over and see the summary, see the brief description on the back to entice you to open up the book, start sifting through the pages, what would be the text for that summary?
I suppose like maybe a deep dive into the sort of pain that the modern society feels, and that, you know, if you want to relate to issues you're having with, you know, struggling with money or struggling with gun control with the government and stuff, you can relate to this album a bit. I don't know, Brent, can you word that better?
Not really.
No, I think you nailed it pretty well. I mean, we did mention before that, and you'd mentioned before that with the discography that Shiva has presented so far, it is indeed just bringing awareness to the faulty, the flawed human condition. So with this being the sequel, the honorary successor, right, to Planet Eater, what kind of why the name Misanthropist? That's something I would want to ask.
So basically, like, misanthropist is that sort of you hate yourself in a way. So it's basically like the way that I sort of see it is I hate sort of what humans have become in a way. Like you know, obviously there's good and bad in everything, but like an overall thing of like what humans are evolving into, sort of like
Or
shit.
devolving into.
Yeah, well, yeah, is it going? I don't know which way it's going.
Right, fair enough, man. It's always a day-to-day just attempted analyzation, so I completely understand that. So we kickstart the album with track number 1, The Root of All Evil. Let's go.
Let us be aware that while they preach the supremacy of the state, declare its omnipotence over individual man, and predict its eventual domination of all peoples on the earth, they are the focus of evil in the modern world. It was C.S. Lewis who, in his unforgettable screwtape letters, wrote, "The greatest evil is not done now in those sordid dens of crime that Dickens loved to paint. It is not even done in concentration camps and labor camps. In those, we see its final result. But it is conceived and ordered, moved, seconded, carried in, minuted, in clear, carpeted, warm, well-lighted office, like lion hand with white colors, between right and wrong, and good and evil."
All right.
Which is also a pretty sick Spite song, but also this is Sessions for Shiva. So what is this song about?
Basically that's just got a snippet of one of the American presidents talking about how the evil in the world isn't gangs and, you know, bad crime lords and stuff like that. It's actually like the white collar people up top making the decisions. Like that's the real evil of the world. So that's sort of what kicks off the album, like puts the limelight on, you know, them in a way.
Okay. And that's actually pretty interesting. I didn't like really figure that out. And I'm surprised because you said a US president, right? Or
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
do you remember which one it was?
I
can't
could
remember
probably
his
find
name.
it for yeah, I can probably find out. I'll have a look.
Let's see. I mean, I can probably play it too and just be that's
This
Hoover.
guy. Yeah, this guy here. Ronald Reagan, I think.
Ah, Reagan. That's definitely a Reagan thing to say. So I must have recognized that off of memory because I'm like, is that Reagan? But that's pretty cool. That's a great way to start the record. I like that. That's actually really cool. Okay, so track 2, we have God Complex featuring Left to Suffer and Infested Entrails.
It's good.
force of evil in the modern world.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Have you heard of that band before?
No, not Infested Entrails, not yet.
Sick band, bro.
Yeah.
So that's the singer of that band is actually the singer of our old band Ascendants.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Small world.
Small world, indeed. We like it though.
Yeah.
We like it. We like it when the Earth is as small as it is. If it was for Jupiter or Mars, we'd have an issue or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. And funny story about Infested Entrails. What happened was we actually had a vocal competition ages ago. This is where the idea came up for the Chelsea Grin one. But we had a vocal competition ages ago, and James, the vocalist of that band, ended up winning it. And we just didn't sort of release the song for a really long time. So he was on there because of that winning.
Awesome. No, that's really cool, and I love that you guys have done that more than once with your music, because that allows for a sense of community. It kind of concretes that sense of camaraderie that you guys hold so precious when it comes to this band. And I mean, that's what you should do with the band anyways. Like, if you don't like the people you're working with, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, 100%.
So what lyrically is going on with God Complex?
So that's sort of kicks off with like the manipulation of the population. That's the overall meaning behind that song.
Sick.
I think it's, if you wanted to get like real down and dirty into like the real dark, deep depths of what's behind it, Dylan would be your main man to sort of let you know what's going on there. He's currently at work though, which is shit because of the time differences and all that, so it's actually morning for us. But it's about like there's no empathy, no empathy in the human population. Like, everyone's like suffering from ignorance and the control of the government and stuff like that.
Sick. Yeah. Okay, and then we have track 3, The Hunted. What's going on here?
So this one's about sort of like a little spin-off of the missing 411. So the people that go missing in the forest and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just basically like a dig into that.
Okay. And I mean, the missing 411, is what's the story behind that? Because I've never heard of that before. That's interesting.
So there's it's one of the forests in America somewhere where heaps of people go missing all the time, and it's like heaps of people.
Huh.
Let me see if I can get some more details on it here.
I mean, I might have to too, being that I'm over here in the States. I'm like, what the fuck? What is this?
Sean's about to go missing. We wrote this song for you.
So the national parks in the United States have just like massive amount of missing people cases. And the people think that there's actually more behind it than just people missing. Some people think it could be like UFO abductions. Some people think that there's like under cave systems where people are getting taken, and there's all this like huge unknown thing about it, and just people go missing. So
no, I'm seeing a poster or a cover right now for Missing 411, the UFO connection. I'm like, why the fuck haven't I heard about this? I've been doing conspiracy theory shit like the last 2 weeks. So I'm like, what the hell, dude?
2 weeks.
I really have, dude. I've been binging that stuff. Like, I think yesterday I checked out this video about the Washington zombie woman, which it was completely disproved. Everything's all good to go. But you watch the video and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then this channel explained it pretty well. So I'm like, oh, okay. So she was acting for political message reasons. Huh? Because it was like authentically terrifying. Like if I saw this person running down the street, I would like check my hip, realize I don't have a gun, go buy a gun, and then it was fucking bad, dude. Like,
so she was just acting.
Yeah, so she was absolutely just acting. It was like for some type of political propaganda, like you can't cage me. That ended up being the disproving Instagram post. But like, dude, I'll tell you what, if I saw this person like walking down the street screaming the way she was doing, or holding what was like a tiny bag covered in blood, she had like half her head shaved off. She looked like a Fallout character. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And she's just screaming and wailing like a banshee at the top of her lungs. She's limping down the street with one shoe. It looks like she was fresh out of a car wreck. When seeing the video, it's like, I get why people just went nuts, but I digress. But that story is for a separate session, ? But okay, so we got the Hunted, Misanthropists, then track 4, the title track. This kind of like, I would assume it reviews over the overlapping Shiva formula, really, lyrically speaking, right?
Yeah. So that's like basically like honestly the same thing. Sort of the control of the population, getting like any resistance that comes against them just gets crushed, and then eventually evolving into like hating your own race, I suppose.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, that is misanthropy, so fair enough, man. Track 5, we have Affliction.
My day of self-salvation and empathy.
What's going on here?
This one's kind of more about mental health. So it's sort of more about like the way that society is. The sort of person, I'm not sure if it's a person or whoever this song's aimed at. It's like that person has like mental issues now, and they're like getting violent and they're like hurting people and stuff like that. So this song's more about like the effects of the society on someone.
Right. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. And then we have track 6, Oppressed.
Step on our freedoms, restrict our rights, lock us up and tell us how to die. Go is the lie, there's one thing for certain, fuck political power, we're closing it. Afraid to fight, no political power. No damn well you're afraid to lose. Tired, can you feel that news? Say it again, only dead. Say it again, only dead. Say it again, only dead. Say it to us back. Say it again, tell it to us back. Self-awful television, sinking in the DVO. Common sense of small revision. In your skeptical country, we need to stand up now. Your lives to celebrate. Say it again, tell it to us face. Say it again, tell it to my face. Future generations are upon you. We are oppressed. We are exploited. Liberty or death. This simulation is a dream. They make all of your decisions. Your self-worth is everywhere. No one left to make decisions. Say your destiny free.
Exactly what it says. It's just like the government like oppression. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then track 7, Unalive.
Bring me to life.
Because I know this was a track that you guys ended up, at least I remember being sent a message myself on Instagram. It's like, we haven't named this song yet. What would you want the song to be called? I'm like, oh, okay. I don't think I ever actually like chose an option. Don't know why, but I was like, okay. So it ended up being Unalive. So obviously you guys were like kind of conflicted on the actual track naming of the song. So before it was Unalive, like what was there like a complicated lyrical process with this? Like what's going on with this one?
Well, this one, there was a couple of members that aren't in the band anymore, but this one we had some problems with because this song's actually about the way that society is now is the reason why more people are like committing suicide. So it's kind of like one of those taboo subjects, and I think it was challenging for us because like some of the members were like, oh, you know, I think it's too much. But the original song name was Secrets to Suicide.
Okay.
So, and it's like the secrets are, this is why it's happening. And it's because of the society and the way that people, like, you know what I mean? So we had some issues naming that, and we didn't want it to hurt anybody, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like a pretty, you know what I mean? Like, we're not out here to make people upset, but we do want to talk about some certain shit, you know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. I get that completely. And then track 8, we have The Nameless.
Let's go.
only thing I ever really loved was
Sick.
Yep, that's the Slipknot cover.
Right. Badass. Okay. I mean, simply said, the Nameless Man. Like, what an iconic track. So that was Shiva's Misanthropist. That was the end. That is the end of the Under the Skin session.